Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500 and welcome to the how-to series. Today we are going to show you how to fit a basic alarm. Fiat 500s don't come with alarms, they're not even an option. Let's show you how to fit a basic cheap alarm to your Fiat 500. Take a look. So welcome to Love 500 if you've never been here before. There are lots of how-to videos showing you how to do various things on a Fiat 500 and an Abarth. But today we're going to show you how to fit an alarm. So the alarm you can see before you is a very basic alarm. It's a 2-wire alarm. All it does is connect to the live terminal and the earth terminal of your battery. That's all you need to do. It's got an inline fuse for safety. And it's got that's the aerial wire for the remote control, and it's also got an LED light which you could put wherever you want really. You could, if you wanted to run the wire through into the car, you could put it on your dash somewhere. For speed today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit it on the scuttle panel. I'm not quite sure where yet, but I'm going to, as long as it's visible, that's where I'm going to put it. So I may have to take the scuttle panel off. I'm not sure yet whether I can do it without, but we're going to give it a go and see how it goes. I've never fitted one of these before. This is a bit of an experiment. So these cost about £18. So you could spend £300 or £400 quite easy on Pandora alarm, which obviously is going to be a fully functioning proper alarm. But do you want to spend £300 or £400 on an alarm? Okay, you know, your car's worth a lot of money. Your car's expensive. It give you peace of mind. It probably will make your insurance go down if you have a proper alarm fitted. But this is a good stopgap. So if you've got no alarm on your car at all, I suggest you get one of these. So let me just say once again, because I know a lot of people who own Fiat 500s think that they've got an alarm on it. They haven't. All Fiat 500s and all Abarths have got the standard Fiat immobiliser, which is the chip in the key, which if the correct chip isn't being read by the body computer, then you can't start the car. They've all got that. Thieves can quite easily get around that. I'm not going to explain on here how they do it, but trust me, especially our Abarths get stolen all the time. So unless you've got one that's got an alarm that's been fitted as an aftermarket product, you ain't got an alarm. So let's see. So how are we going to do this? As I say, I've never done this before, so I'm not sure where I'm going to locate this. It's got a sticky pad on the back. On the instructions, it says it may be better. It's basically a shock sensor, but it says in the instructions that it may be better to cable tie it somewhere rather than use the sticky pad, because the sticky pad can absorb some of the shock. So if someone moves your car, it'll go off. If someone jacks your car up to steal your catalytic converter, it'll go up, it'll go off. It's got an emergency button on there. If you're in a big car park and you've forgotten where you parked, you can press that button and your alarm will start going off so you can find your car. It's got lots of little features like that. Well, not lots, that's about it really. But so we're going to show you now how to do it. So we need to try and choose somewhere to locate this before we wire it in, because then we've got to run the wires. So we'll have a look around the engine bay. I'm thinking probably somewhere at the rear of the battery. This car is quite dirty on the battery, around the battery area, or the engine compartment, full stop. So wherever I put it, I'm going to clean up a little bit. So I'm tempted to connect it to the battery itself, but if I do that, then it's going to be, when the battery comes out, it would have to come out with it, you know, if you put a new battery. So what I'm tempted to do, I think is probably the best place to put it, is here. That way it's quite accessible well, you can still take the fuse box off. It's quite, the siren on it, which, because obviously the siren is all part of the box, the whole thing is one unit. So if you put it there, then you're going to get maximum sound coming out of it. I did think about putting it behind here, but I decided against it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look around. I'm just going to turn the camera off, have a look around, see if I can fathom out the best place to put that, and then we will come back again, because I want to make sure it goes in a decent place. I say this is the first time I've done it, so I'm not really sure where to put it. The only problem with it going there, of course, is if a thief decides to move your bonnet. If the alarm starts going off and a thief decides to pop your bonnet and have a look to see if where your alarm is, they pop the bonnet and they see that, it's obvious where it is. By that time, of course, the alarm's already sounded and hopefully has already alerted you. So we may see if we can find somewhere else to put it. If it means taking the battery out to get to find a location, that's what we'll do. But we'll find a place to put it and then we'll come back. Right, I've decided, I had a couple of options. I was going to stick it, make sure we can see where I'm going to, I was going to stick it under there, but with the sticky pad, because it would be down, with a sticky pad on it, gravity is going to make it eventually fall off with the vibration and what have you. So I thought sticking it there, it's sort of partially hidden. It would make the wiring hidden, and it's near the fuse box. It's near the battery. So I think that's probably quite a good place to put it. So we're going to clean up this area of the fuse box, and then we're going to place it in position. So what I use to clean the engines full stop when I do these cars is this. You can buy this in B&M. It's about 90p in B&M, and you can buy it for £1 in a pound shop. And it is absolutely fantastic stuff. I clean the insides of the car, I clean the engine bay, I clean everything with this. It's brilliant stuff. Even seats I clean with it sometimes. So we'll give that a wipe over, and then I'm also going to put some degreasant on it as well. Just putting some degreasant on it will just help the pad stick to it. So I'm using this panel wipe. You can use brake cleaner, you can use panel wipe, you can use some white spirit, you could use isopropyl alcohol, all sorts of things you can use. So that does, that panel wipe is meant for when you are wiping down panels prior to painting. And it does, let's get some of the dirt off still that's on there as well. It doesn't hurt to wipe it as well, even though it does evaporate. But we'll leave that a minute or two just to dry off properly, and then we'll I won't stick it in just yet. I'm going to run the wires. So first of all, what we want to do is disconnect the battery before we start anything. Anything you do on electrical things on a car, disconnect the battery. So all you got to do is disconnect that. You don't need to disconnect anything else. But because we are connecting to here, we do need to remove that as well. So what I'm going to get out the garage is a 10mm spanner, and I'm going to loosen this nut off, and that's where our earth wire is going to go. You could put it on an earth somewhere else. You don't necessarily have to do it direct to the battery, but I'm going to do it to this. So I need to take that nut off completely. And now we've got, luckily they give you end bits that have got the brass eyelets on it, so you don't have to put one on yourself, which is good. We'll undo the LED as well. I'm not really sure where we're going to put that yet, but we'll come to that afterwards. So we want to test it, make sure it works first. So, earth. With a battery, earth should always come off first and go back on last. So that means that we're now going to loosen off the live terminal on here. Okay, it is a 10mm nut that, but I couldn't get, for some reason I couldn't get a 10mm ratchet spanner on it, so I'm having to use an old-fashioned spanner. I have got sockets, but while I've got this I might as well do this. In fact, let's get a socket, it takes too long. Put that to one side. Now you want to try, when you run the cables of this, you want to try and make it as tidy as possible. But we'll cross that bridge in a minute when we come to it, and it's just started to rain, which is always nice when you're doing electrical stuff. Right, so there you've got your wire. So to try and do this tidily, I'm going to put that wire under there, like that. We don't want to make it too obvious either that you know what we've done to the casual person that's looking at it. So we're sort of gonna put it, run the wire somewhere that it's not too obvious. So we do that back up tight. So we haven't taken off this live terminal. We've only just taken off that top screw. There you go. That's all up nice and tight. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to run this. We've got other cables here. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to use some tape and run it to it. And then the earth, if I just put this down here out of the way for the time being, let's move that out of the way. Just put it sort of in position like that. And then we can run it around there. It's not actually long enough to run it properly. That's the thingy, and the earth is here, which will go on that one. So we'll take that one off. Which is quite tight. We might have to cut this. Just cut that so we can then slot it in. So we just cut it and then bend it back. Yours might not be like that. Yours might just come off quite easily. We could put it on that one, but I think the bolt head is too big on that one. Yeah, it is. Is it going to be not going to be too big on this one? I don't think. So let's cut this. Cut it, bend it. Put that back on. I'm getting wet here because it's raining. There we go, we can clip that back on. And we can okay, so we've got that on there now after just splitting the little brass end. Tighten that back up. So we've now got a good earth and a good live. I'm just going to put my jacket on because it's raining. Bear with. Yeah, so we've got a good earth and a good live now, although both directly connected to the battery, of course. So what we're going to do now is test it. So if I can reconnect, I haven't got it fixed in place, so if I reconnect the earth strap of the battery, it should, in theory, work. Okay, so to arm the alarm, you do that. That's now armed. To disarm the alarm, you do that. Now, we need to test it to see if it works vibration wise. So if I bash against the car, it went off like that. So it works. You can adjust the sensitivity of this alarm. So if I open the door and then close it again, okay, so that's not quite sensitive enough. If I bang against it, no. If I bang over this side, no. So there's a way, I don't know what it defaults to, but in the instructions it says, dum-da-dum-da-dum. We did arm it, didn't we? Yeah. Okay, so if it's actually a motorbike alarm. I don't know if I mentioned that before. It's a motorbike alarm, so it says motorcycle. To turn off the alarm, press the button once, the siren will chirp twice. So the adjustment, the sensitivity of the alarm can be changed. Press and hold the lock button for 3 seconds, pressing the emergency button changes the sensitivity between 1 and 5. The alarm makes a corresponding number of beeps for each setting. Setting 5 is the most sensitive. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a try. So we're going to press the, what was it, the lock, press and hold the lock button for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. 1. 1. Why is it only doing 1? Press and hold the lock button for 3 seconds. Or maybe I have to the alarm makes corresponding number each setting. Setting 5 is most. To set, press the unlock. Okay, so lock, 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Let go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is the most sensitive. And then set. Yeah, so that's the most sensitive apparently. So maybe opening the door is not enough. Obviously, if someone drove it. Oh, and look, now it's set. Oh, it started going off now when I picked that up. So I didn't do very much. The little LED. I've just switched it off. If I rearm it, there you go, it's flashing. So I've got to fit that somewhere. Okay, right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run these cables and then I'm going to show you where I've put them. I'm going to try and do it as tidy as I can, and I'm going to stick that alarm into position and then we'll be back. Right, okay, so we're done. So the wires could be tidied up a little better. As I say, this is my first attempt at doing this, so depending on where you stuck it, you could run the wires better. The wires are sort of tucked down out of the way. The LED I put in there. So what I did is I took the cover off that covers up the wiper, and then I fed the wire. I drilled a hole through the plastic, fed the plug end of this wire in, fed that through, closed that onto it so that holds it in place, and then the wire is run all the way along there, down there. Oh, it's come untucked there, down there, and then under there, down to the alarm itself. I just need to tuck that back under, and it should all work. I've lost the remote controls now. What have I done with them? Oh dear, where are they? I've lost them. Right, let's try it. So that LED should flash once it's armed, which it is. So obviously when the bonnet's down, especially at night, you can see that, which is good. And then that is now a fully functioning alarm. So it may need adjustment. As I say, it is on the most sensitive one at the moment, which doesn't seem massively sensitive, but as I say, this is a motorbike alarm. So I think it would be, certainly if someone moved your car or bashed into your car or something like that, I'm not sure just opening and closing the door would do it. Let's try it again. Yeah, it is. It is enough. Okay. So maybe that's even, right, okay, so what it says in the instructions is if it senses movement, slight movement, it will go off for 5 seconds. If it senses movement again, it will go off again. There you go. Oh, it's only doing it for 5 seconds again. I think, let me read the instructions again. What does it say? They've got a bit wet. Right, the alarm works on vibration, so needs to be tightly secured to the bike. No, that's not it. Where is it? There we go. The alarm will chirp once. The alarm will chirp. If the motorcycle is gently moved, the alarm will make 5 beats. If moved again, then the alarm will go off into full alarm for 20 seconds. And then obviously if it keeps being moved, then it will keep going off. So it goes off for 20 seconds at a time. But I guess it was a gentle one, wasn't it? So if you're getting in, if you're opening the door, getting into the car, and then maybe driving off in it, then it will keep going off. And as it senses the movement, it will just keep going off. So that's it, pretty much. So as I say, it is a basic alarm. It is a little bit of basic peace of mind. You may get false alarms with it. You may need to decrease the sensitivity. but it was 18 quid, and it's better than nothing. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you don't, please don't give us a thumbs down. Tell us why you don't. Okay, you may say, well, a waste of time that is, cheap and nasty. Well, yeah, it is cheap. Maybe it's a bit nasty, but it's 18 quid, and it does give you a bit of peace of mind. So I look forward to your comments. I say I've got to route the wires a little bit better. The wire's sticking out there, so I need to just sort that out. Let's turn the alarm off actually. Press the to turn it off, and now it's off. So yeah, I think it does the job, doesn't it? It does the job, basically. It's not going to win any awards for security, but it's better than nothing. So that's been the how-to series. This is Love 500. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it of some use, and maybe even inspired you to spend lots of money on a better alarm. Well, let's hope so. Keep your cars safe, keep yourself safe, take care, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload new videos. Thanks for watching, take care, see you soon.